Hello everybody, now welcome to the greatest guitar lesson ever made. Okay, so let's get right into it. You need to get better at guitar, so you need more time. How do we capitalize on that the best way? Well, one way is to eliminate all other things that keep you from playing guitar. So the first thing, children, is drop out of school. Because ultimately, the more time you have to play guitar, the better at guitar you will be. Remember, follow along with me. Use your highlighter or pen or pencil and write drop out of school in the top left-hand corner right here, okay? Drop out of school and underline right that. We'll get back into that a little bit later and stuff. That's the very first most important fucking thing. Second thing is drugs. Let's just get right into drugs right away. You're about, 12 to 14 years old probably, and this is the time when you're gonna be doing drugs and playing guitar. That's just how it goes. The beginning of it anyway. So the sooner you know about all these things, the better, right? So if you're, let's go on the right side of the margin here, right? If you're just getting into it now, probably you smoke pot, so right, pot, cigarettes, right, beer, and coffee, okay? Write all those things down. Pot, cigarettes, beer, and coffee. And remember, you can do all of these things pretty much all day and it'll be fine. You can smoke and drink all that all day and you'll be just fine. Doesn't matter. Now let's get into fucking over here. Let's do the hard drugs. Let's write uppers, downers, psychedelics. And let's just write psycho for short, right? Now these three can fuck you up a bit if you don't know what you're fucking doing and shit, right? So let's classify it, right? Uppers, like cocaine, like meth, like, fucking speed. In between uppers and downers, let's write scripts, like prescription drugs. Like your Oxycontin, your painkillers, all those fucking fun things, right? That can classify as an upper or downer depending on what you mix it with. And, all that. Downers, let's just write heroin for now. Let's not get too complicated, right? But like heroin and Demerol are pretty good, but heroin just for now, right? And psychedelics, let's just write LSD and mushrooms for now, okay? So again, uppers, downers, psychedelics, prescription drugs in between these two fucking things. And the uppers are cocaine, meth, and speed. Your downers are heroin. Your psychedelics are LSD and mushrooms. Remember to follow along and write all this down. Now, okay, remember what time of day that I do these drugs to best suit my goal, which is ultimately getting better at guitar, right? So again, pot, cigarettes, beer, and coffee, I can smoke that all day. In morning, afternoon, nighttime, whatever the fuck, and it's gonna be fine. Uppers, downers, and psychedelics though, uppers, let's say for example, I wake up, have a cigarette, have a coffee, I'm up right away, but now I really want to get going on shit. I'm gonna do some cocaine. I'm just gonna, do a couple bumps, right? Be like, fuck yeah, maybe eat some speed or smoke some meth, right? And now I'm gonna get some fucking shit done today. So for the next, 4 to 6 hours, if you coast it and do little bits at a time, I'm doing pretty good. And I'm getting a lot of shit done, which is excellent. And I'm not showing that I'm that fucked up unless I overdo it and do too much, right? So let's put a negative sign next to shows, right? Shows how fucked up I am. So write a negative sign and shows underneath these ones. Unless you do too much. If you do too much, then it really, really shows, right? But for the most part, you can smoke pot, do cigarettes, drink beer, coffee, and coke, meth, and speed all day, and no one's really going to notice if you know what you're doing. And just, go slow at it, take little bits at a time, right? And just don't be too insecure about other people looking at you funny. If they're really looking at you funny, it's because you're doing something fucking stupid and you're looking funny and stuff. So, don't sketch people out. Downers, like heroin, right? If I were to do that in the beginning of the day, I'm not going to get anything done. I'm not going to play any guitar during the fucking day. I'm not going to be doing anything. I'm going to just go. That's why I don't understand when people say all those like Seattle guys and like Hendrix shot up all the time and old jazz musicians and blues guys were into shooting up. They were doing that at the end of the fucking day, man. They weren't doing that in the fucking morning and shit with their Rice Krispies. Fuck that, right? That's gonna fuck you up too much. Psychedelics, right? Psychedelics though, right, like LSD and mushrooms and stuff, that's again something you shouldn't really do at the end of the day if you have something to do tomorrow, right? Or unless you got like a solid block of time, like a couple of days to come back from it, right? Because you don't want to fucking just do a little bit of LSD or a little bit of mushrooms. You want to go all the way and see some crazy fucking shit. So to fucking do that, you're going to have to take a big dose and stuff. You're going to have at least a couple of days off. So let's say you're playing fucking LA on fucking Friday and Saturday, and you don't have another show until Arizona on Wednesday, then you got a good couple of days there to drop some acid and have some fun in the desert. That's good shit. All right? So then that's when you can go and do those fucking things, right? Now let's get into, so that's time of day of when to do them. So let's talk about how much of these things you should do and how to mix them properly, right? So again, you know, in the morning, having a cigarette, have a coffee. You know, if it's a Sunday, I don't got a lot to do, smoke some pot. Maybe I'm working on a mix or something, I'm gonna smoke some pot and stuff. Or if I gotta just do some mindless booking, emailing kind of stuff, smoke some pot, drink a beer. It's okay, whatever you gotta do, right? Do it, you know, European. Do it European. Do a little bit of it here and there. Don't give a fuck about it, right? In the morning, mix up some of this, some of the hard stuff, right? Coke, speed, meth, whatever. It's all good, right? Now at nighttime comes along and stuff, and then I need some rest. Then okay, do a little bit of heroin. That's all right. That's fine, right? Don't have to do anything the next day and stuff like that. Just put a little bit in your bong and smoke it. Some opium, whatever, right? That's okay. That's good. That's when to fucking mix in the heroin and stuff, right? And again, we just talked about the LSD and mushrooms, when to fucking do that, right? Let's get back to how much you should do. I think that goes with every person, really. You know, I only personally smoke 1 to 3 cigarettes a day, maybe. Sometimes I don't smoke any at all. In terms of pot, depends how stressed out I am, how pissed off I am. Depends if I have anyone within punching distance of me during the day. You know, same with coffee and beer. I don't really want to drink that much of it, and I don't think it's that effective to keep on stacking your beer, your pot, your cigarettes and stuff. So let's get into that part of it, right? You can smoke only so much pot before it stops working. However, with beer, you can just keep on drinking and become more drunk throughout the day. In that same respect, with cocaine, it kind of works like an elevator, okay? So let's say you're in the basement and you want to get to the penthouse, right? And you do a little bit of coke and you get, you know, about halfway or whatever, right? That's all right. And then you do more than twice that amount, you might get a little further, but you're not going to hit the penthouse. You gotta fucking take a big rail first. The first big fucking hit, the coke you do up your nose and shit, that gets you to the penthouse. But unfortunately, the rest of the night, no matter how much fucking coke you do, you're not gonna get back up there. You're gonna be boom, and then the next one's gonna boom, and then sooner or later, you're buying 8 balls and you're stuck in the basement and it doesn't work anymore. So that's fucked. So you can't really do it like that and stuff, right? That's messed up. Whereas meth, right? Meth will get you up there and you'll stay there fucking for days if you really want to. And you can just smoke little bits at a time. It'll still keep on stacking its way up there and shit. Same with speed. Speed comes in these little pills. You can get them either prescription or man-made. And you know that, you can still stack those and you'll get higher and higher and higher. Same with LSD. You can just take a little bit of LSD at first and then keep on taking more and more and more, and you will keep on getting high, right? Whereas again, cocaine and heroin, right? Heroin, again too, you're only going to get so fucking high on the first big rip. And then after that, it's going to be tough. So that's where people overdose and where people die. That's why you have so many overdoses on cocaine and heroin. Things like that fucking happen, right? Fucking, you know, more on heroin than coke, but still, that's just how it goes. Mushrooms, right, that you can stack again too. You can have a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. Pot, you can have a little bit at a time, but it can only get so fucking high. That's how it works, right? Same with coffee even, right? You can only drink so many coffees and be so awake before coffee stops working. Now, so keep that in mind when you're playing guitar. Putting guitar into this, right? Okay, getting back to the premise of this entire lesson, the greatest guitar lesson of all fucking time. When you're doing these drugs throughout the day, you're playing guitar, okay? You're playing guitar during these fucking things. You wake up in the morning, you have the cigarette and the coffee and the coke, and you start ripping scales for 4 fucking hours, okay? till you start coming down. Then you're like, okay, what am I going to do now? Then you drop some speed, okay? Because now you've gotten over that initial big hump. You're not going to get any higher in there. You're not going to be able to sustain that fucking kind of high. So you eat some speed, and you fucking just coast on that now, right? And keep smoking pot, but don't smoke too much fucking pot the whole time, because we're going to need that at the end of the night. We're going to need that big pot stoniness at the end of the fucking night to come down from all this shit that we're doing, all right? So we're fucking doing all that fucking stuff, but you got a show tomorrow night, so, you can't just bang a bunch of heroin midday or go on a fucking shroom quest. That's not a good idea, right? So we're just training today, okay? So guitar training and stuff, we eat the speed, we're good for another fucking 6 hours and shit, right? That's half the day gone already, right? And you're writing songs, you're practicing vocals, you're shredding up guitar, doing all these fucking things, doing different exercises, playing different songs, trying to write different licks and stuff, soloing over backing tracks and doing all that stuff. And you're all fucked up during this time, right? But you're concentrated because of the drug choice that you are using. And what you are doing is keeping you fucking concentrated. And you don't have to go to school because you're here all day, okay? Doing drugs and playing guitar. Trust me, it fucking works. I didn't go to school that much and I fucking played guitar all day. But if I'd fully dropped out completely, I'm sure I'd be better by now. So this is how to go about and do that, right? So you're still playing, doing all that fucking stuff. That's kick-ass and stuff, right? You got a show tomorrow, so, back it up. Don't go too hard, right? But just stay on the uppers and the pot, cigarettes, beer, and coffee that you can do all day anyways. Don't do the downers and psychedelics all the fucking time. In fact, don't do the uppers all the fucking time either. This is just when you really, 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 really want to lock something in. And you've been working on it for a while. Or you're stuck and you want to work harder on something, right? For downers and stuff, right, that's more of like when you're playing at night and you've done too much uppers. You've just been you've gone through an entire case of speed and an 8-ball of Coke, and your heart's just going like a million miles an hour, and you're out of pot. Okay? At this point, bang some heroin. That's a good time to do it. Boom. Right? Go to sleep. Wake up in 3 days. Fantastic, right? You can only do that if you don't have a show the next day or that night. Never fucking do a show on the downers and psychedelics. That just doesn't work. It might work for some people, but it probably will not work and will probably sound like shit 10 times for the one time that it works. So, but pot, cigarettes, beer, and coffee, and all the uppers, that will work during a show. Because that's still you. And again, getting back to how much it physically shows on you, it does not show on you nearly as much as if you bang heroin. Let's put a big plus on shows under heroin. Or plus. Let's do 7 pluses on psychedelics and mushrooms of how much that shows. Alright? Because you're like a goofy motherfucker while you're doing that. You don't really want to be contemplating the meaning of life or things like that, or having some kind of inner fucked up journey when you're supposed to be singing a fucking song and staying on the one. Things like that are not good, right? So, yeah, combining these things now, okay, remember that certain drugs are stronger than other drugs. For example, right, if I fucking drink a bunch of coffee, okay, if I drink a ton of fucking coffee, and then I bang some heroin, the coffee that was keeping me awake will no longer keep me awake. It runs itself ineffective. Beer is actually stronger than weed. If I smoke a bunch of weed, and it doesn't work anymore during the day and I can get drunk off of something else, the beer will actually get me more drunk than I am stoned. Alcohol is actually much stronger than marijuana, which is a common misconception. If I go and take something that mellows me out, like, fucking some Demerol or something like that, and then I pound a bunch of fucking Coke, that's no longer going to mellow me out. Now I'm up, right? I'm like, let's fuck some stuff up. Same thing if I smoke a bunch of pot and I want to get all mellowed out, and then I smoke a bunch of meth, that pot that was keeping me mellow is no longer going to keep me mellow. I'm going to be methed out, right? So that's how that fucking works. And if I do a bunch of meth and then I smoke a bunch of pot, again, the meth is stronger. The pot is not going to mellow me out anymore at this fucking point. So remember that too when you're playing guitar, and if you gotta do things during the day, right? Like if you gotta fucking have a band meeting or something like that, sure, okay, pot, cigarettes, beer, coffee, that's fine, you can do that all fucking day, right? But do you want to be all fucking up at your band meeting that's already a little bit tense? Do you think that smoking some meth before the band meeting is a good idea? Probably not, right? That's probably not going to do it. Could be a good idea. Doing a bunch of heroin and just missing the fucking band meeting altogether is probably not good. So have your fucking priorities in order. You know, schedule out what you're doing and do the drugs in accordance if you must do drugs. You know, and this is only for if you're into drugs and stuff, okay? So, you know, that I probably should have said that 16 minutes ago. This part is only for if you're into doing drugs. Okay, end of part 1.